Today we are going to discuss how you can make better presentations, and better presentations, and better presentations, and better presentations, and align your thinking with your next presentation will be the best one you've ever delivered. To do that, you need to harness your energy. This means we're naturally, when you deliver a presentation, the adrenaline is flowing inside of you. You can't stop it. It's the fight or flight syndrome. It's that old caveman saying, I'm going to get out of here or I'm going to stand and fight. That's adrenaline. If you just stand in one spot, what happens? That adrenaline's going to move you. And unless you move and execute some of the principles we're talking about, you won't be able to harness your energy. The first rule is to remember that the camera is always on. Everything that you're doing, when you are in the public eye, someone is watching you. And when you graduate from here, it's going to matter. Because you only get one shot at making a first impression. So the central idea today is for every one of you to get into your mind the notion that you can control the image that you convey to every person, every day. You're totally in control. The question is, does it matter? Up till now, it may not have mattered. But if you're going into business and you're going to be in a position to be able to influence others, they're going to be watching everything that you do. So now let's talk about how to get control of this image. Please pass these out, guys. Pass these back. Everyone take one. Now you have in front of you a worksheet that will help you identify the images, the image that you want to convey. As you get these, I want you to write your name, top left. As they're passed out to the rest. Team number on the right. Name, top left. Team number on the right. Now, the first thing I want you to think about is this. What image do you want to convey to others? Do you want that image to be seen as dull, boring, listless, unemotional? Or do you wish to be seen as confident? Do you wish to be seen as motivating? Or is it knowledgeable? Or is it professional? Or could it be enthusiastic? What image do you want to be seen? These are practical examples. You decide how you want to be seen. I want you to write at least one under goals, maybe two, maybe three. Up to you. What image do you want others to see of you? Right. Under goals. Now you've got one or two. You can add them later. Now the next thing I want you to think about is, what do you need to do as a speaker to get closer to that idealized image? Look at the list below. We're going to talk about these. These are the natural distractions to the eyes and to the ears as you present. Do you need to slow down? Do you need to eliminate non-words? Do you need to have more volume? Or do you need to soften up? Do you deliver in a monotone and you need some intonation? Do you get nervous and pace like a ping pong match back and forth? Or do you stand in one spot and you need to move? You've seen yourself do presentations. Write a couple things under needs to start you off, and then when you see some things in your presentations that you want to improve, then you can add to the list. Next, if there are any other uses of improving your presentations that should apply to another class or at work or a senior project, put that down. That's under uses. If the principal use is here, then you don't have to write anything. Now let's talk about the typical...
Can you repeat that about uses, please?
Uses should be, how are you going to use what you're going to learn about improving your ability to project the image that you want. Where? At work? In a class, another class? In a senior project? You decide. So now let's talk about how it is that you can deliver great presentations that cause your audience to listen and take action on your presentations. Now, first of all, no one is born a great speaker. We may be born with the ability to yap, but not to deliver in a way that causes your audiences to listen and take action. This is just a skill. My dad woke me up when I was 17 years old, senior in high school, one morning like this. Oh God, I'm in trouble. He said, this is the last session that you're going to attend as a student Rotarian today, right? Rotary is a civic group. My small town was a big deal to be a Rotarian. I said, yeah, it's our last session, Dad. He said, one of your team, of your 4, is going to get up and thank the club for allowing you to attend. I want you to do it. Oh, not me. No, Dad, no, don't do it to me. The other guys can do it. He said, no. What are you feeling right now? I said, I don't want to stand up in front of those guys. You know. He said, you're nervous, aren't you? Yeah. He said, Chris, in your life, people are more worried about speaking in front of the public than they are their own death. So he said, solve it. And when you solve it, he said, you'll move to the top. Because most people, here's what happens. Most people say, oh, I don't like doing that. No, no thanks, get somebody else. Oh, I'm really not very good at that. I never speak in front of the public, and I'm never doing it. And you've talked your way right into never having the opportunity to present in a way that causes you to move up. This is just a skill. Dad said to me, if you want to learn to be a great presenter, great speaker, he said, number 1, never refuse. Someone asks you to speak, as long as it's on a subject that you know and can present, never refuse. I've refused twice in my life. Every other time I say yes. Actually, last semester someone asked me to speak for free at something where they usually paid speakers. And I said, what's the fee? Oh, we know you do it for free. Not doing it. That's 3 times in my life. The second thing is, it takes 100 speeches before a miraculous thing occurs. Your mouth connects to your brain. So it's actually coming out of your brain miraculously. It comes out your mouth, not things that you don't anticipate. Because if you're not good at this, words come out, or words don't come out. But if you practice and practice and practice and practice and practice and practice and practice, your brain connects to your mouth, and then you sound great. But you have to practice. There's no substitute. Now let's talk about how you can be seen by an audience, a small group or an audience, in a way that causes them to listen and take action. 3 things that will confront you. One is, you're going to feel like you're under pressure. It's just the adrenaline flowing. 2, you're going to feel nervous. Nervous is just that adrenaline flowing through your system. You can harness that energy. You can use that energy, and I'll explain to you how. And 3rd, release your inhibitions. I want you to see what we're going to do from this point forward as a practice session for you to get out of your comfort zone and do some things that you're very uncomfortable with right now. But once you see yourself doing it, you're going to say, wow, I like that person better. And you'll upgrade. First is eye contact. Notice how almost every word that comes out of my mouth is to a person. Notice that? It's not up, it's not down. It is to a person. Why? Ms. Stringer.
To make eye contact so they know you're speaking to them, to relay the message to them.
Yeah, it's personal when you deliver it to a pair of eyeballs. If it's impersonal, the chance that they will take your advice diminishes. Whether you like it or not, whether you feel like it or not, is inconsequential. The point is, the better the eye contact, the more confidence you convey, the more the audience gets the feeling that you're talking to them. Second, your appearance. You must dress to meet the expectations of every audience, plus a step, slightly higher. I break one of my cardinal rules in here because I wear these crazy bolos. And in fact, today's my birthday, and this is one of my birthday presents. Got last night. This is an elk antler that's been taken off the elk here and here, and then this is an Inuit, an Eskimo Indian. Actually, this is bone right here, and it looks like an elk. Nancy found it on eBay, and now it's mine. So I wear these, and these distract in the first couple sessions. Why? Because you're saying, what's that thing around his neck? What's on his braces? So when you wear things that distract, it causes people not to listen. Ladies, you can distract men. And you know how to do it. If you wear things that distract men, then they'll see you in that format instead of being seen as someone who's delivering a message. So don't distract. Dress conservatively. Gestures. When you start your presentations, I want you to start here. Why? Because you're going to have a tendency to start here, 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 here. And I want you to get ready to gesture. When you start here, then you'll begin to gesture. What are gestures? All you're doing in your mind is you're converting the video that's playing in your mind to your audience. And if you're riding a horse, you know, you're going to show them. If you're paddling in a canoe, you're going to show them. The more you do that, the more the image comes alive in their brain, and the more emotional the persuasion process is for them. You can also use an image to reinforce the concept. Pacing with a purpose. You also notice that I pace and I stop and I deliver a part of my presentation and then I pivot. Then I give the presentation to someone else and I move here. Then it's to someone else. Why? This is called pacing with a purpose. What does it convey, Mr. Nitzke?
That
Have you clicked yet?
conveys that you're interested, like you're trying to make everyone else interested, like you're not just dull and you're enthusiastic.
Okay, enthusiasm, it's burning my nervous energy. What else?
To transition your points.
Yeah, you're pacing so that you can pause, pivot, so it looks like you're being strategic. And there's a purpose behind your pacing. It just conveys confidence. Smile. Mr. Green. To the person who tends not to smile because he's so serious. Smiles light up your audience. Jim Singleton has been after me for 15 years to smile more. I still don't smile enough for him. You will not smile enough for me. What a smile does is it warms up the room. It conveys to them conviction and confidence. And enthusiasm. When you are enthusiastic, remember this is where we started 325. It was to say to you that it is totally under your control. And when you're enthusiastic, your audience is enthusiastic. And it's under your control. Well, Derry, I don't feel like being enthusiastic. Frankly, I don't care how you feel. I care about how you make your listeners feel. So I'm going to be tough on you to make sure you warm up your listeners. Because unless you warm them up, remember, that old caveman brain is the one that processes the emotions. And if you get in there and cause the person to say, ooh, I like this, then they'll look for proof statements to corroborate the fact that they feel like doing it. Speaking pace. Some of you are going to be very fast speakers. And you've got so much going on in your brain. It just comes out of your mouth so fast. And your mother's told you this forever. Like, slow down. Well, we're going to help you slow down. So there are two things that you can do to slow down. One of the greatest speakers this country has ever seen, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. This guy was an actor. And he was a professional communicator. That's why he was so good. And the essence of every great presentation is not necessarily when you're speaking, but when you're not. Does anyone here have a major or minor in music? Anyone? Anyone been in a band or in a chorus? Okay, that's Nash. What's the purpose of a rest?
Breathe.
And? In the music, what's the purpose in the music? Help her.
Like a pause.
It's a pause, but what does it enable?
It's emphasis on whatever you just said.
says you stop playing, you start playing. The pause, the rest, is as important as the music if you're trying to achieve harmony. Yet, what all of you are going to do is you're going to talk like this, and you're going to make one point, make another point, make another point. What point did I just make? If you don't slow it down, can the audience have a chance to not only listen, but understand? Mr. Mallory? I screwed up again? In my brain. Can they? Yeah. If you slow it down by pausing, you'll give people a chance, a nanosecond, to comprehend. The second thing you can do to slow down is to articulate every syllable of every word. Now, when I do that, in my head, it sounds really weird. But how does it sound to you, Mr. Al Abraham? Sounds perfect, right? Those of you who are fast speakers, I'm going to slow you down and you're going to see it. You must get control of your speaking pace. Sometimes it's important to go fast. Other times you have to slow it way down. Non-words. Some of you, I'm being nice, some of you are still plagued with these non-words. One of my commitments to you is to help you get motivated to get rid of them. There's not a non-word that will make a good first impression or second or third or fourth or fifth when you communicate to someone out of here. So I'm going to be like a burr under your saddle. And we're going to click you to remind you when non-words come out. I know you're not going to like this, but I don't care how you feel. What I care about is how you make your listeners feel. And that's the difference. Last is voice control. In voice control, would you shut the door, Mr. Craig, please? Now, some of you are going to be soft-spoken, especially Mr. Mitchell is soft-spoken. Some of the females are soft-spoken. It's okay to be soft-spoken, but if it impacts the ability of your listeners to hear, the impact comes right from the diaphragm. What you're going to find is if you try to project and it's coming out of your larynx and your volume is up here, you can't get any louder. But if you bring it into your diaphragm, male or female, that's where the volume is. Doesn't hurt a bit. I can control every bit of it. That's where you want to be. Gives you control of the volume. Because sometimes you need it to be here, sometimes up here. So now, it's up to you. Team 1, are you ready? In this first exercise, you can stop the recording, Mr. Givers.